All right, we're gonna talk about Black's Law Dictionary, which is black magic. That's what it is. Saturn. I mean, you need to understand something. We're gonna try to tie in these chattel term and then departments and the license to depart in black magic. So if you want to look at that word chattel, okay, in Google land it says chattel is any movable item of personal property that is not permanently attached to real estate. It encompasses tangible objects, vehicles, furniture, livestock, and machinery, as well as certain intangible interests. The term is heavily used in law, finance, and real estate to distinguish movable possessions from land and buildings. So chattel, real quick. In movies, if you watch captions, you'll see down there, and when it's a crowd, it'll say chattering. Chatter in the distance. CHATTER. So right there, it's like, then you grow up and you hear stop all that chattering, because we're chattel. See, if you take the H off, it's cattle. It sure is. So we have to establish that term here. It says a chattel is any movable item of personal property. In Black's Law Dictionary, down there at the bottom right, it says chattel, an article of personal property, any species of property not amounting to a freehold or fee in land. And then you can get into chattel's real and chattel's personal. We're not doing that. But right here, it's an article of personal property, any species of property not amounting. Species. So, definition of species. It says a species is the most basic fundamental unit. A unit. Add Y, unity. We need unity. Unit has to do with Latin and some crazy shit. Biological classification. Generally, it refers to a group of organisms that share similar characteristics, can naturally interbreed with one another, and produce fertile offspring. Compliant, obedient, little beings of Ahriman. So, species. Cattle, chattel, goy, you don't know about that. Okay, departments. Okay, departments. See, chattels. Chattels is what we are. We're chattel. Okay, so we're going to go over here to satanic gematria. And right here it says chattels, departments. Okay, is 888. And that's the big boy right there when it comes to satanic gematria, which runs this world. Seriously, it does, along with all the other ones. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to this book, The Lesser Key of Solomon. And we're going to go to the very end. And we're going to read this ritual. And then we're going to break down what chattel's departments truly is. And then if you've not studied, but if you've allowed Steiner, what was channeling through him into your ears, then you'll be able to see this too. So, but it's all black magic. Look, real quick. So chattel's departments is 888. So we're going to go over here, satanic blood worship. This is real shit. It's all been hexed. It's all deep shit right there. Satanic blood worship, 888. Okay, and then for these words, because it's not words, it's black magic. So now what we have, black magic words, is 666. And remember, in the last video, 303 was the door number. Alright? It was the door number on Matrix. Because Saturn and science, black magic is science. Before the world you're in, science Black magic. So 303, there it is, 666. And then just to recap again, we'll do Saturn first. First 303 Saturn. And then science. Because it's 666. It's Satan. Black magic. There you go. Right there. Alright, so now we've got that. So now let's go to the end of this book. And we're going to read this right here. It's called, Ye license to ye spirit, he may depart. This is the license to depart spirit. That has to do with black magic. Okay? So, if you don't, hardly anybody on earth knows about the unseen because they've been kept from it for a very long time. And there's some heavy shit going on the other side. And there's no way we can recap so much shit. But let's say in the 1800s, some shit happened and some shit got cast out of up there. Like very fucking evil impulses, which would represent AI. And the shit that you see to harvest and harness souls. Because this thing obeys the zodiac. They tell you too in their movies, 1,000 years this, 1,000 years that. Well, it's because of Saturn. It is. Saturn's back. AC/DC tells you everything is back in black. Black, Pearl Jam, Blue on Black, Kenny Wayne Shepherd. You've got, it's insane how it's literally right in your face and nobody knows. But the whole thing is these beings that are cast out are soulless. Okay? And they're being uploaded with anything from these billboards and these screens that get the occipital lobe and the sensorium organ at a young age, and it creates that connection. So anything that comes out, do you know what I mean? They absorb it, and then when they go across, they don't. Everything comes out. But see, real quick, the Vatican, which is not who you think they are. These are the biggest fucking black path. That's the surface. We know the Camilla of Saturn, 3 times 3, equals 15 in any row, whatever, which is the 15th card of the tarot, the devil. Okay? But they literally, had raised bloodlines, like of these black path magicians. No shit. And there's certain portals behind Gemini, there he is, that these impulses come in like demon shit, like horrible shit. And certain longitude and latitudes over a planisphere. And it's the truth too, and it's been kept for forever. And these priests of very fucking evil black magic, you can add up all their horror movies and it doesn't hold a flame to the evil that I'm trying to fucking tell you. And they harvested, if you will, with these soulless beings. And it's the truth. These individuals on earth now, it's screens in every land. So whatever's in their hand is in their brain. It's not what's out there or what's up there. It's whatever they've seen. It's the same images, billboards. It's the same sodas, cigarettes, same pills. It's the same entity that's been doing this shit forever. And it melted the whole fucking world. It's bigger than you can think. These chattels departments, all these department stores represent the cube of 8 and a bunch of other shit. The cube of 8, 888, listen, it all has to do with the tree of life, the cabal, and it has to do with heavy shit. But this is ye license to depart. So we have licensed departments here. And you have to obey When you go get a license, do you obey the law? Yes. If you do, blah, blah, blah. But you watch TV too. So you're a licensed citizen in a sense. And you're influenced. It doesn't matter. They've created different sides with news, so they're going to get you. So when they produce impulses through screens, they're going to move you. They're going to call you to vote and all this through black magic tricks, which is not real. This was here a long time ago before your world that you're in. The license to depart. It says, O thou spirit north, because thou art the servant of fealty and obedience, and because thou art he that obeyeth my power and thy creation, therefore I say, descend unto thy dwelling. Obey the law which I have made, without terror to the sons of men, creatures, all things upon the surface of the earth. Descend, therefore, I say, and be thou as stewards of time. Time magazine, it's stupid. Come forth in a moment, even as servants that hearken to the voice of the Lord. In the moment in which I invoke thee and stir thee up and move thee in the mysteries of the secret wisdom of the Creator. Descend unto thy dwelling place in pleasure. Let there be the mercies of God upon thee. Be friendly and continuing, whose long continuance shall be comforters unto all creatures, all men. Okay, we don't have to double read that. You might want to go back and double read it again. Listen again. Especially that one. The other book's worded a little different, but it's saying go. Enjoy your pleasures. What do you think every human being is doing? Enjoying their pleasures. And the news is the signal. If you'll watch the movie They Live, the signal in that movie actually represents the news. But see, look. See the United Nations. It's unit. 9/11. United Nations ritual. Is 9/11. Okay, so the word nations is nat and then ions. Okay, gnats, ions. Definition of ions. An ion is an atom or molecule that carries a net electrical charge. It becomes charged because the number of electrons, negative charge, does not equal the number of protons, positive charge. So we've got positive and negative. Let's ask, are ions positive and negative? It says it right there. Ions can be both positive and negative. So what you're looking at right here is all these human goy. This is black magic right there. So gnat. Okay, and remember 888 is what I told you. So let's just break that down. Okay, I'm gonna give it to you we're giving it to you. All right. Here's the word broke down. We've already broke down ions. So right there, nations, nat, ions. Nat, remember in black magic, these letters are numbers. In your world, like where I want you to be, you got to turn all those letters out there on their black magic signs into numbers. So we've got we've got nat, ions. Okay. N is the 14th letter. So in gematria, you reduce these numbers too. So 1 and 4 is 5. All right. So there's 5 for N. A is the first letter. So we've got 1. Okay. T is the 20th letter. So T, 2 plus 0 is what? 2. So you've got 512 ions. Do you know what 512 is? Check this out. So 512 is the 8th cube. 8 times 8 times 8. You see that? I'm giving you the fucking big boy right now. To make it even clearer to you, let's see if we can go over here and find my calculator, which I don't ever even use. 8 times 8 times 8. There you go. See that? 8 times 8 times 8 is 512. Nat. Natty Light. Nat. The beer and shit. Nationals. Washington Nationals. National this. Because, I mean, it's all predicted and already done. Look, I'll show you. U.S. National. Yep. U.S. National Communism. Right there. U.S. National Communism is 9/11, baby. So, I mean, United Nations Ritual, U.S. National Communism, United States is abbreviation. License to depart. All these department stores, we're in a unit. Each one of your, wherever it is that you are, is a unit. It's a mathematical equation. See, look, let me show you right here. Let's just do the number 10. All right. Divisors, sum, and count. There's count. There's list. There's sum, divisors. The news represents the divisors. Count, county, country, that's Latin. That has to do with numbers. Count, add Y or RY, country, county. Because it has to do with the numbers. There's numbers everywhere. It's black magic. And then sum, you're summoned to court. Consume, some of the chemicals, which are compounds of black magic numbers. It's been hexed on. Con, real quick, is the... I'm going to end on this. See the word con? It's 137. So 137 is the 33rd prime number. There it goes right back to Saturn. Remember, 3 times 3, the Camilla magic square of Saturn. It's all right there. These are these cavities and these societies and these towns. See, backwards, remember, it's NWO, it's New World Order. And then the T would represent the human being. And it is. But when you look at towns, TOWNS, the New World Order is encompassed in between T and S, which is, in traditional sense, is 20 and 19, which has to do with the T and S, but it would be 2 and 1, 21, because it has to do with these fucking Jesuits, which would be the 201 that Catherine, whatever the dumb shit, saved, whatever they put in their bullshit publications, and they want you to know, and it's not real. None of it is. But the whole thing is you're, let me talk about that number again. Number properties. Look. See, your existence is there. Number properties are at the top. So you live on property in a county, in a country. Okay, lists. We ain't even got to get into all this shit. But some, you're summoned to work every day. You're summoned. You're summoned to court. You're summoned to appear. Consumption, consumer. Those are black magic terms. The first word is CON, which is a Saturnian. I've gave it to you. Nations is the cube of 8 negative ions. You can just look, and they're all these fucking Ahrimanic beings. I'm serious. Their brain, their whole makeup has had nothing but screens, nothing but billboards, nothing but fake tones, nothing but chemicals to wash their clothes with, nothing but wear a mask, get a shot over and fucking over, and that's their current. The same way the ocean waves come in every day, that's what demons do. They're like, we got to hit them like that, and not just one fucking ocean. They hit these beings with tsunamis all fucking day long of impulses. And they just absorb more, and they're being compressed. They're becoming just beyond sickly. They can't even see it's what they're eating and drinking. It's what it's fucking doing to them, because they're a label mind. They have to see a label. And then in their world, they think there's nothing wrong with that shit. And these younger generations are just, the tablets are designed for the babies now to destroy their retina, their optic nerve, and everything. And the fucking eye doctors are so stupid. It is beyond beautiful black magic, because you literally can show it to them in their face, and they are so fucking gone. There's nothing in there. That's why they can't, they've been told what everything is their entire life. They've never been taught how to do a thorough investigation. All these kids, they've all grown into, hey Google. These are beings that have nothing in them but screen impulses. That's it. And we just gave you license to depart. It's in a very broadcasting has to do with black magic. I'm trying to, let me see if I can, see, and you're raised around, it says the septenary of the talismans, and it says, since the ceremonies, the garments, the perfumes, the characters, and the figures, as we have said, are necessary in order to employ the imagination for the education of the will. The success of magical works depends on the faithful observation of all these rites. So my whole point is you show these empty brains these images, and then they go get these. Their ceremony is going and getting the garments and the perfumes and the characters in Disney, and then they absorb all that, and they're black magic. That's where all these words come from. It's black magic. It's all black magic, enchanted, chanting over and over. Come to enchanted world of Disney. And it's just, it's deformed. It's all fun and games going through the eyes and vibrating the nervous system and tickling the oil. But when, transferring the subconscious and all that memory, it's going to be very deformed and very, very fucking blackened and dark and demon coming out. And that's the whole thing is all this shit's created to compress the brain into complete fucking demon submission, to where they are all those stupid idiots on the movie V for Vendetta. Okay? That's pretty crazy though, isn't it? That just some fucking dumb alcoholic just gave you the nations what its one of the root real meanings is. It's they're all casted in this fucking cube of 8, and it has to do with Phoenician shit, the Phoenician word, whoever they are, whatever the fuck that is. And I can tell you a secret too, like that Camilla of Saturn, 3 times 3, the magic square. Well, there's supposedly 3 layers of brotherhood here in the world that's, behind shit, and then there's 3 layers behind that nobody ever sees. Then 3 times 3 is 9. Then you got those motherfuckers too. So that's what I'm saying. I can see all of it. I can see every fucking bit of it. And what I can't see, it's not supposed to be. But then again, like what I can see, it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. Why in the fuck am I giving all this black magic to you and then just and going straight outside to all these beings out here that's been ignored forever, that get slaughtered every day by these Ahrimanic machines, and go right out there and morph right into that, to the unseen. Just go from fucking darkness to right out there. Hey, that's what I'm saying. And to the average person, it's like, this man is crazy. It's like, listen, you're generationally. Look, I'll show you just one more cipher and then I'm gone. All right? This is real. You need to know this. All right? It has to do with generations and generational. Yeah. So what's the number that we've been talking about? It's 888. So nations. So here's the term generational slavery. It's 888. So it's real. They're not real. That's what I'm saying. You know, something went south. I can say that. I said it a long time ago. I remember 2 or 3 years in this, something just came out of me and said, talking about there not being fair. And I was, for years, I was like, what the fuck is that? Why did I say there? What the fuck? You know? And what I mean by that is they're, one of their rituals that kind of went south for them, a big ritual. They missed something. Well, they misled themselves, I can tell you that. You know, but listen, go to YouTube and look at the movie Nefarious and go listen to the captions. Listen to when he tells him about this day and age, and he says, the guy on death row, and he goes, listen, there's no parallel with you. He said 2,000 years ago, they had to play drums to drown out the crying of the babies that were at this damn Baal figure, and the flames and the drowned out the screaming, because when they would land on the bronze hands that were just so fucking hot, it was just burning the flesh. Just they were playing drums, burning the creation. And he said, and now we wear scrubs. It doesn't matter if we stick it up in you, we're still burning it in the incinerator when we pull it out. That's who the medical industry is. That's how fucking long they've been doing this. They are number one at what they do. So, you know, it's who it is. And it was all created for them to hide behind. And when they need to get somebody, here comes the experts, and these dumb goy don't question nothing. People die and they take them out, and I can't believe that. They did it. They did it. And then scare the fuck out of you, and then pray with you and tell you Jesus loves you. Get a shot. Wear a mask. Man. And it's like, these are fucking demons. I love you.